This evening on ENN Tonight.
Elon recognizes the legacy of Pope Francis.
The new SGA executive president outlines her plans.
Once we get back to campus, it is like full steam ahead. We are rolling.
Elon professors gather for a day of action.
Those stories and more.
ENN Tonight starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for ENN Tonight. I'm Abigail Hines.
And I'm Fiona McAllister. Today, on Easter Monday, the world is grieving the death of Pope Francis. At 88 years old, the Pope died near St. Peter's Basilica, where he's lived since his election in 2013. And just an hour ago at Elon's Road Stadium, the bell was rung 88 times in honor of the Pope's long life. Here's how some of those bells sounded. With this sudden news, those at Elon were shocked and heartbroken. The 266th Pope of the Roman Catholic Church, Pope Francis, died from a stroke this Monday morning. Recently, his health was in poor condition, as Pope Francis suffered from pneumonia in both of his lungs.
Of course, he had been in poor health recently, but the fact that he was able to make an appearance yesterday for Easter Sunday, it was surprising to hear of his death. And so I also felt grief. You know, he stood for a lot of things that I think were positive changes in the Catholic Church, and so I think that his leadership will be missed.
The Pope's funeral is being held at St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. Millions of Christians are mourning his death, even here at Elon.
I just think in general, in times like these, it's important for us in the faith and for the people even without the faith to just continue to grow together through hard times, right? So we lose a very public figure, right? Somebody that we look up to and that is a symbol for us in our faith. But it's important for us to not get lost in the tragedy, and it's important for us to mourn and to kind of recognize the loss that we sustained, but also to be able to pray together and to work together and to move on with hope and with love and always believe that God's got us covered and that we're going to be okay.
Elon University's Sacred Space in Newman Lumen will hold a memorial mass at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. After this mass, the space will be open for people to share words about Pope Francis. Fiona McAllister, ENN Tonight. University Chaplain for Catholic Life, Father Peter Tremblay, says that the Catholic campus ministry will follow the days of mourning that the Church allocates. And for now, Kevin Farrell, an Irish-born cardinal, is the acting head of the Vatican until the Catholic Church decides who the next pope will be.
Florida State University is mourning after a gunman opened fire on the Tallahassee campus on Thursday, killing 2 and injuring 6. Police are still searching for a motive but have identified the shooter as 20-year-old FSU student Phoenix Eichner. Eichner is also the stepson of a Leon County Sheriff's deputy. FSU canceled classes and sporting events through the weekend, but classes and business operations resumed today. Elon Campus Police says they are prepared for any situation and have been trained for scenarios like this in case they happen. Chief of Campus Safety and Police Joe Lemire tells students to be cautious and aware of their surroundings.
My advice to students is to give it some thought. We always tell people that if you've thought about it just once, you're further ahead than someone that doesn't pay attention to it at all. And think about it in different spots. If you're on campus, if you're in a residence hall, if you're in different areas, you know, they always laugh at police officers. At every place we go, we always pay attention to where the doors are, where the stairs are, and different means to get out of a place. But everybody should really do that. Not to the point of people fearful every day, but to the point of just being aware.
Lemire says that Campus Police prepares for these situations and takes them seriously.
Whitney Gregory will serve as Elon's next Dean of Students. The announcement was shared to faculty and staff in an email from Vice President of Student Life John Dooley on April 17th. The selection comes after the confidential candidate search process. Gregory is the current Assistant Dean of Students and was the only internal candidate of the 3 finalists for the role. During Gregory's presentation to Elon faculty, staff, and students during the selection process, she said some of her main priorities as the next Dean of Students would to be focused on relationships with students and making data-informed decisions. As part of her new role, Gregory will be advising Elon's student government. She has worked with other student organizations in the past and says the mentorship of working with students is something she values. Gregory will step into her new role this summer after current Dean of Students Janelyn Patterson begins her new role as the Associate Vice President and Dean of Student Health and Well-Being. And the transition of Student Government Association leadership goes beyond the Dean of Students. Executive President Anya Braddock has stepped into her new role to become a connector on campus. So far, she has appointed new senators and is currently working with other members of SGA to create goals for next year. Our Trista Panagakos has the story.
Anya Braddock ran her executive presidential campaign on the idea of bringing different groups and communities together on campus. Braddock believes Elon does not lack resources, but said students lack the knowledge these resources exist. This is where she comes in.
What I thought that I could be really successful in my role and in my term is being this great connector, being a liaison for students and resources for students and administrators.
Braddock will be working closely with the 4 other members of SGA's Executive Council to have an effective term. While the school year ends in just a few weeks, Braddock says the work for the Executive Council doesn't end in May.
And over the summer is also a really, really good time for exec to start thinking about what some of our goals are going to be, just kind of do some of that planning before we actually get back to campus. Because once we get back to campus, it is like full steam ahead. We are rolling.
During her 3 years on SGA, Braddock has made connections with many senators, but she says the rising sophomore class has brought with them a new and passionate energy that will help SGA make impactful legislation.
I really think that these are going to be our shining stars this year. Oftentimes, our sophomore class are the ones that kind of set the vibe and tone for the Senate, and a lot of times it's with a lot of excitement.
Along with the senators who were elected by the student body, Braddock has already appointed 10 new senators to vacant seats. Trista Panagakos, ENN Tonight.
SGA will be holding a priorities meeting this week where senators can bring up concerns they have for the Senate that can be addressed in the next year. Braddock says this meeting will set the tone for next year's goals.
President Trump has put tariffs on some of the United States' biggest trade partners. In early April, Trump went back and forth and put a pause on most tariffs, but with China, he did the opposite, putting up to a 145% tariff on Chinese goods. China has now implemented a 125% tariff on U.S. goods, so it's likely that we will feel an impact on prices on our shelves. The goods most impacted will likely be technology products like computers and smartphones, but China is also a huge supplier of toys, plastics, and furniture. These account for billions of dollars in imports. When it comes to the town of Elon, our university bookstore might not be seeing a huge shift in price. The downtown Barnes & Noble gets most of its goods from a supplier called Fanatics, which manufactures its clothing within the U.S., but sources its products in facilities across 17 different countries. The United States and Vietnam are the countries with the most Fanatics factories, according to a labor report in 2021, but this doesn't exclude China from the Fanatics facilities. China has around 6 to 10 Fanatics factories. This could potentially impact the bookstore prices, but it's unclear as of right now because of how few factories Fanatics has in China.
Harvard University has sued the Trump administration after federal officials froze over $2 billion in grants and a $60 million contract. Harvard became the first university refusing to comply with the Trump administration's requirements, which would change school curriculum and what professors are allowed to teach. Harvard, a private school like Elon University, receives most funding from tuition and fees, but Harvard's president seems stern in not backing down to Trump's demands. Harvard's president, Alan Garber, said in a statement to the university, "No government, regardless of which party is in power, should dictate what private universities can teach, whom they can admit and hire, and which areas of study and inquiry they can pursue." Unlike Harvard, Columbia University agreed to Trump's request to avoid losing $400 million in federal funding.
Belk Outdoor Theater was filled with students, faculty, and staff for nearly 8 hours during a day of action. Organized by the American Association of University Professors, the event aimed to bring attention to recent executive orders and actions targeting higher education. Universities across the U.S. participated in a variety of ways, including discussion forums and AAUP membership drives. Elon's chapter of AAUP chose to host public teach-in sessions to encourage attendees to stop by and learn without requiring prior knowledge of the topics. Starting at 9:30 a.m., professors taught lessons every 30 minutes. The 14 sessions focused on topics such as immigration rights, Project 2025, campus activism, and more. All sessions related to the same overarching theme, the impact of recent executive orders on higher education. Some professors chose to lecture during their sessions, while others encouraged audience participation. Philosophy professor Maria Mejia gave audience members handouts during a campus activism session. Throughout the day, the audience filtered in and out, stopping by during their free time or even staying for the entire event. Elon's AAUP had tables with information on how professors could join, as well as pins and stickers promoting the organization. To learn more about the Day of Action teach-in sessions, visit our website at elonnewsnetwork.com.
Elon School of Communications is adding a new major this fall, Digital Content Management. The program is the first new major for the school since 2015 and is designed to increase education surrounding digital media. The major courses will include existing classes across multiple majors within the School of Communications. This comes after a 17% decline in enrollment across the entire school since 2021.
On Thursday, Elon Jewish Life will commemorate Yom HaShoah, also known as Holocaust Remembrance Day. The day will begin with a ceremony of remembrance at the Newman Lumen Pavilion, where attendees can gather for reflection, learning, and commemoration to honor the 6 million Jews who were killed in the Holocaust. The ceremony will also recognize the bravery of the righteous among the nations. After the ceremony, community members will participate in the international tradition of the reading of the names on the steps of the Mosley Center from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Elon Jewish Life encourages members of the Elon community to attend, listen, and pay their respects.
We've been seeing some warm weather lately. See what to expect next week after the break.
We apologize for the technical difficulties. We will have your weather updates soon.
And a look at the cost of study abroad when we come back.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think.
You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
There's only one thing that will save somebody's life, and that is naloxone nasal spray. Get 911 on the phone, get the emergency responses there on their way.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready? Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hate is loud, but love is the majority.
We've been seeing some sunny skies and hot temperatures these last few days. Let's check in with Parker Forgash to see what the next few days have in store.
Thank you, Abigail. It's been warm around Elon this past weekend, and we're in for more warm temperatures, but lots of rain this week. Now for your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Tonight we'll see a low of 63 degrees with mostly cloudy conditions. Tomorrow will bring cloudy skies with a high of 77 and scattered showers throughout the day. Wednesday will also be cloudy with scattered rain after 2 p.m. and a high of 75. Thursday will reach a high of 73 under mostly cloudy and rainy conditions again, with moderate showers expected on and off around 2 p.m. into early Friday morning. And to start off your weekend, Friday will see cloudy skies with morning showers. The high will be 78. Saturday will be cloudy with occasional rain expected throughout the day and temperatures near 80. The chance of precipitation is above 40%. Even with the cloudy conditions this week, the UV index here in Elon will still hit between the moderate and high range. As temperatures warm up this week, the UV index measures the strength of ultraviolet radiation from the sun, and even on overcast days and rainy days, those rays will still cause skin damage. It is important to wear sunscreen every day and at a UV above 6. That's when you'll start tanning or possibly burning, especially if you are out on Young Commons or at Lake Mary Nell. Take care of your skin this week as UV levels rise and put on some sunscreen. That's all I have for you. Now back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Parker.
Earth Week kicked off today, and campus is packed with events all week long. From thrift shops to sustainable DIY workshops, there are lots of ways to celebrate Earth Week. The week-long celebration is put on by the Office of Sustainability, and tomorrow the university will officially launch Elon's 2025 Sustainability Master Plan. The plan lays out environmental goals for the next decade, including Elon's path to becoming carbon neutral by 2037. Associate Director of Sustainability for Education and Outreach, Kelly Harr, says this week is about more than just awareness. It's about hope, community, and taking action. Other notable events include Thursday's keynote address featuring author and climate activist Bill McKibben. Two other big events on Thursday are Earth Fest and Party for the Planet, which are held on campus near Lake Mary Nell. The events will feature local food, games, and student organizations.
Students looking for cheaper alternatives to updating their closet this spring can buy secondhand clothing on campus. I have more on how one organization brings thrifting to Elon. Elon University's Office of Sustainability hosts pop-up swap shops every month where students can buy and trade in clothes for free.
You get the thrill of getting new clothes all the time, and you get the relief of being like, I don't want this anymore, bye. That feels really good to get a trash bag full of clothes you don't wear anymore and bring it to the pop-up. And on your way out, you get to shop and look through the closets, like the shorts I'm wearing right now. Pop-up swap shop shorts.
President of Phoenix Fashion, Elise Whitaker, says secondhand shopping benefits both the shopper and the environment.
Just kind of seeing this like reusing, recycling process happening live, I think is very encouraging. And I just keep seeing it happening more and more and more. And so I think honestly, it's good for Elon, it's good for the community, and I don't ever see it going away.
Students can drop off clothing donations at Mosley Center, room 105B. Abigail Hines, ENN Tonight. Phoenix Fashion will be partnering with the pop-up at the Party for the Planet event later this week.
With the end of the school year approaching, Elon's Office of Sustainability is helping students, faculty, and staff donate their unwanted furniture items through its annual Don't Trash It program. Donation stations will be set up across campus for people to drop off their items. The program benefits recipient organizations such as Habitat for Humanity and the Barnabas Furniture Bank Network, with donation drop-off locations on campus from May 19th to May 31st. For those who live off campus, the Barnabas Furniture Bank will offer scheduled pickup for larger items on May 17th, 18th, 24th, and 25th between 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. To schedule a pickup call and leave a message stating that it is an Elon furniture donation, along with the address of the donation, name, and a phone number.
There's a new club at Elon, all thanks to one student's passion. Sophomore Olivia Tamburino felt there was something missing when she first came to Elon, a chapter of Operation Smile. Operation Smile, headquartered in Tamburino's hometown of Virginia Beach, is a nonprofit that sends medical staff around the world to perform surgery on children with cleft lips and cleft palates. Tamburino has been involved in Operation Smile her whole life, so in January 2024, she decided she wanted to bring the organization to Elon. The process took a little over a year and involved many steps to get there. And while it was hard, Tamburino felt called to make an impact and bring Operation Smile to campus.
I was a little defeated on the first meeting day because there weren't that many people. But now look, I mean, even 2 months later, I've had such a great turnout and so many people have come.
So far, club activities have included making cards and decorating hospital gowns for kids going into surgery.
Studying abroad is often seen as a highlight of a college experience, but it can come with a huge price tag. ENN's Angelina Fantroni is live in studio with us to talk about why J-term programs are 3.5 weeks long, are sometimes just as expensive as a full semester.
Thanks, Fiona. It's registration time here at Elon, which means students are in the midst of choosing their classes. Elon offers more than 80 exchange programs around the world. For fall 2025, semester-long study abroad programs like cities in Florence, London, and Copenhagen range from $24,000 to over $32,000. These prices include tuition and housing, but not airfare. By comparison, Elon's cost for tuition on campus is around $24,100, and that doesn't include housing either. But winter term programs for 2026, only 3.5 weeks long, are where students heading to Australia could pay up to $12,400. If students are traveling for upwards of 4 months during a semester and paying around $25,000 to $32,000, some people are asking why they would pay this for only 3.5 weeks. I sat down with sophomore Bronwyn Mulvaney, who is now planning her second winter term trip.
I feel like I try to justify to myself, like, oh, this is worth it. Like, I don't know. And I think in the end it is worth it, but when I compare it to a semester, I'm like, no, the semester is so much more cost effective. Like, and when you're in a country, you have the opportunity, like for that long, you have the opportunity to fly to all these other countries and that kind of thing, for less than you would if like you're in the United States.
The full cost breakdown of Elon study abroad programs can be seen at elon.studioabroad.com.
After the break, I'll have an update on the basketball players transferring next season.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Even more than I wanted a gold medal, I wanted a heart of gold, like the mentors who were my balance beams refusing to let me down, and the coaches who spoke out to anything out of bounds, heroes who never stood on podiums, but stood up for me. Every shot I made, give the assist to those who since my youth were referees, ready to blow the whistle and end abuse.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Kudos, Carl. You've always had a need for speed. Racing anything with wheels, speed reading novels in record time, yelling out 3, 2, 1 at every traffic light. But this time, you've taken your power obsession to the next level. By purchasing this electric vehicle, you've given yourself instant torque that blows your old launch times away, which will keep you saying, "Woo-wee," every time you punch the pedal. Good for your adrenaline, great for the planet. That's the power of EV.
The men's and women's basketball teams at Elon have lost some key players in the transfer portal recently, but the teams are starting to make moves of their own. Our Miles Hayford has more.
Thanks, Abigail. Elon men's basketball has lost some stars in recent weeks. TK and TJ Simpkins were focal points for the offense and some of the team's leading scorers. They transferred to Oregon and Seton Hall. Both of these programs have made the NCAA tournament 14 or more times, while Elon has never made it in their Division I history. On April 17th, redshirt freshman Braden Crump announced that he was transferring to East Tennessee State University. Crump is the third player of the 9 Elon players in the portal to officially leave Elon. But despite these losses, Elon has seen some new faces from the portal. They landed 3 guards in the last week. The additions include George Mason transfer Bryson Coakley, Northern Kentucky transfer Randall Pettis II, and North Carolina Pembroke transfer Jawan Carr. Pettis played in every game of the season and averaged 7.1 points and 2.8 rebounds per game. Coakley, a freshman, did not find much playing time, and Carr is coming from a Division II squad. The Elon women's team has also seen some key losses from the portal. The team's leading scorer, Raven Preston, is transferring to Wake Forest and is the most significant loss so far. But Alyssa Irving, Hannah Derge, and Ava Leroux also transferred. All 4 played in at least 2/3 of the Phoenix's games this year. Elon got a transfer of their own in Quinzia Fulmore. Fulmore, a senior, is coming off a season-ending foot injury at Memphis. More activity in the portal for both teams is expected in the coming weeks. In the next few weeks, we'll check out ElonNewsNetwork.com for the latest updates on the transfer portal.
And coming up next, a live look at the re-trending Ice Bucket Challenge.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
In 4 days. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children. She didn't know what to do.
Did you have a good day at school?
She gave them some broth without any bread.
There you go.
And kissed them all soundly.
Night-night.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Women are bad with money. That's what the world's been saying for centuries. But now we've got something to say.
Save it. It's time to save ourselves by saving our money.
Until we're no longer 80% more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
Save it. The falsehoods, the feelings of fault.
Then, the funds. Learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
People all over the United States have been doing the USC Speak Your Mind Ice Bucket Challenge. Now, if you're nominated for this challenge, it aims to talk about mental health. You have to make a video and then nominate 3 other people to do the challenge as well. Now, after you've nominated the 3 people, you're going to get ice water dumped on your head. Let's see how this is done in action.